Good morning, World History Cardinals. I'm just going to start right at the top, especially if you heard me make the video for Sunday evening. So, today, on Monday, March 15th, we are looking into Lesson 5, the Counter-Reformation. So, first, we're introduced to Martin Luther, who basically started the Protestant Reformation by challenging the Catholic Church and writing his 95 Theses. Well, here in Lesson 5, we will explore their response. The essential question says, and I'm going to have to read this because I've been noticing that my videos are getting more dim and not focused, and I apologize for that. It's just because I told you I need a new Chromebook. The essential question here is, what was the Catholic Church's response to Martin Luther's Protestant Reformation? Goal statement, and this is what you need to write down in your notes. I can explain the ways in which the Catholic Church added reforms suggested by Martin Luther. I can also analyze the methods used by the Catholic Church to keep order during this challenging time period. So, again, you're going to have another slide deck to take notes on their response to the 95 Theses. You need to reflect back on the Sunday, March 14th document lesson with those questions to help you formulate a plan here. And you're going to learn about the various types of punishment. Punishment used during the Inquisitions, followed by a discussion question about today's lesson. All right, let's look into the activities. Well, I published this, but you do not have to worry about writing test questions. That is not why I kept this. I kept this because I wanted you to be aware of Costa's levels of thinking. The one thing I've told you, students, is that I did not get a chance to explain to you Maslow's hierarchy of needs. This actual pyramid kind of gives you that idea. The more I can get you students to apply, process, and gather what you've learned, the higher up you will be. Notice that part one is just the beginning. This is the stuff you look at on the page when you read. What am I gathering? I'm completing. I need to identify. I need to recite. I need to define. I need to list, select, describe, and observe. The gathering portion just means you are being introduced to new material and you are trying to learn to memorize it. Okay, so once you do that, then you move up to number two, which is processing. Processing is when you have the information and you do something with it. So I have all the ingredients at level one, but at level two, now I need to put those ingredients together to figure out what is my end product going to look like. So it's at step two where I compare and sort and infer and contrast and distinguish and analyze and classify and be able to explain why. I can read between the lines. That's important when you are talking about reaching self actualization, reaching this idea of, have I learned the process? Have I learned it? Okay. And then once you successfully get past level two, step two of processing, then you go to step three or level three. You can now apply it without looking at the page. You can have a conversation with the teacher or with another student or family member without looking at your notes. When you are at that stage, then you can say you successfully have learned a particular lesson. It is here at level three that you can evaluate, you can judge, you can use logic. If this, then this. You can generalize, you can predict, you can hypothesize, imagine, speculate, and forecast. This is when you become the expert at level three. Up underneath that are just more words that help you understand this portion. And again, that is none of this is for you to have to do anything with other than read it. This is all for critical thinking. All right, go to next. So you have another graphic organizer. This one's called a cluster web. It looks like, let's see, I may not have a picture of it anymore because I think it crashed before. But there are a bunch of boxes. I'm not upset if you don't use those because, as I said, it's about the fourth graphic organizer that I've given to you. Okay, one of which was the Cornell blank notes. You can use all of that if you don't want to use the cluster web. Just choose one. But this slide deck has more information as usual that tells you how we got these new denominations. It reveals the beliefs and practices of the different types of religions. Look, they're just giving you the answers here. You're getting names, you're getting information. The best thing for you to do at this point is read it all and write it down. Okay? Reformation. This is all Protestant Reformation, and on this side, you're learning about the Counter-Reformation, what the Catholics decided to do in response. So if you look here, you're about to see something. You're about to see the result of what happened when the Catholics were challenged. Okay, you see the Council of Trent, you see the Jesuits coming together, and then you see the church's interpretation. And a lot of people were accused of heresy. The church turned against everyone who tried to put them on the hot spot. They used the Inquisition to accuse and hold trials and punish all the people who were challenging them. So now, if you remember anything in your past that was talking about even our Salem witch trials here, please know and understand that it came from this time frame. It came from this time frame of the Catholic Church feeling trapped and cornered, and so they ended up using torture devices against people. There were lots of people burned at the stake. If you've ever been to the Renfest, there's a dungeon that they show you all the things that they used to do to people. This is real things. This is not fake. There are plenty of movies that talked about it. These are the points in the times of Joan of Arc, because of what she was trying to do in France, that basically spoke to similar things. You know, they just didn't allow other people to go against them. They banned and burned all the books. They burned and banned the Protestant Bibles, and it left Europe divided. Many people fear that these things are going to happen again today. We are at a point now where we just need to watch and learn. All right, next slide. The second activity honestly asks you to go a little bit deeper on the punishments. So you have a document, an article here that explains how they were conducted, and then you read all of this and they tell you where it comes from. But then after you read that, you put that information on this sheet. There's like, on here it's only like 3 questions, but the thing they want, when you reach number 3 and you're talking about the Inquisition, they want you to choose an image and describe or provide a description of the action in your own words. And then when you do that, answer this question: do you believe the Inquisitions were effective in stopping people from speaking out against the Catholic Church? So you're going to cut and paste a copy of the picture and then respond. Oh, well, it said after you respond. So respond and then put your picture here. And then come back. Do this. And finally, you have a closure which just says, based on your research about punishments during the Inquisitions, do you think the Catholic Church should have created other means of punishment? Explain your response and suggest another method of punishment. Maybe you have a softer, kinder heart and you don't want to inflict such pain. Once you do that, then you will see that you have completed your task. And I do believe that tomorrow I am going to let you do this in breakout rooms and groups. All right, so you will need a leader, a recorder, and you'll need researchers. You really don't need a, well, I guess you can use an illustrator to get the picture of the device. So that's something to think about. All right, y'all have a good one, and let's be ready for the morning lesson.